Hi, welcome to this mentoring moment where I'm going to show you how to spice up your hymnody with a little authentic context. Most hymns are based on place names. So, for example, the hymn Cum Ronda, Guide Me, O Thou Great Jehovah, comes from this area here, the Rhondda Valley, coal mining in Wales, near Cardiff and Swansea. The hymn tune known as Aberystwyth is named for a town roughly about here. And in this area is the hymn Hyfrydol, which means joy, was composed in this area of Wales. The American hymn tune Pisgah is named for Pisgah National Forest in the Appalachia. So the American folk tunes are often barn dances or fiddle tunes or bagpipe tunes. So what we should be thinking of is more this rather than this. Very often, this hampers our comprehension of the context of the hymn. You might be better actually to follow your hymns off of a lead sheet just with the melody line. So if it's a bagpipe tune, why not play it, at least in the introduction, on a set of reeds and imitate the sound of the bagpipes? So for Praise My Soul, the King of Heaven, Lauda Anima, instead of just playing what's on the page, put some space between the notes and see how that livens up the performance. I'm also going to add a little bit of a flourish. Let's examine the flourish in a bit more detail. What do we always expect to come before a tonic is a dominant, so we're going to use the A as a pedal point. And we're essentially just going to take a scale. We're going to take the what looks like an A scale, but because we're in the key of D, we're not going to use the leading tone. We're going to use the lowered 7. If you want to sound really impressive, you could say we're using the Mixolydian. But it's really just an A scale with a lowered G. Now, the problem with that is the matter of divisions. If our melody note is A, that's where we want to land. So we don't want to get there early. And there are two fixes for that. One is to just put a syncopation in, and that leads us beautifully. And the other is to actually add the leading tone as a chromatic tone. Finally, we're going to approach the subject of divisions in either eighths or sixteenths, whatever you want to do. Take four note groupings of notes. And if you look here and we break this down, we can see very easily how the groupings are. A to D, the C sharp to the F. We can repeat that. we can repeat this. We could do any number of variants of this. And the beauty of this is simply something you can improvise and keep it as long or short as you want. And then finally we get to the scale. And here I'm employing the syncopated version, but I decided to do a hook around, come to the adding the leading tone. The important thing is always the breath. The breath does so much. It tells, first of all, it breathes with the singers and confirms their breathing. Instead of creating a wall of sound, breaths and spaces propel the music forward. So they're wonderful ideas, not only here, but even to get the thing started, to punctuate these few chords. It really moves it along, and I even put some breaths here. Then for our final selection today, I'm going to choose another Irish hymn. This is the hymn Slain, a number of tunes. Probably the most familiar is Be Thou My Vision. And again, I like using the version with just the melody so it doesn't, especially if you have trouble getting off the page. The harmonizations are awkward and way too thick. And in fact, I love to preserve the folk quality of this melody by simply playing it on a recorder stop, a 4-foot flute, if you will, and I play it in the style of an Irish folk song, which includes that long hold before the final phrase.